Okay, so I guess I'm sort of making a video reply to myself, which is completely sane. But anyway, and I realize saying that with the hat. But no, before I get on to replying myself, I guess a few notes for, because I know this is going on YouTube, so a few notes for the people. Yeah, it's super cold in Sydney at the moment. It's supposed to be summer, and we're having winter weather because there's a high down south, and it's directing all the air from Antarctica right up the east coast. I've had to run the heater way too much lately, like summer, and I'm running the heater, and I'm cat hat. But the other reason for the cat hat is because I woke up feeling really sick. Really bad headache, particularly on this side, which, the Panadol and Nurofen probably takes the edge off, but not enough, and I think my head might be cold, and I don't know, it just feels better to have the hat on. Also neck pain, so I've got a heat pack. Finally occurred to me that maybe I should try a heat pack on it. Neck pain is actually getting worse on the other side, on the left side, and I've had nausea, feeling queasy, but I've still been able to eat. And I don't really have any other symptoms, just, I guess, lethargy. Like when the headache's gotten really bad, I've had to lie down for quite a while, and so I've spent most of the day in bed, which is great fun. Anyway, so that's an update on how I'm doing. I don't know if it's just a result of, like, a few nights in a row of really messed up sleep and a lot of psychology things going on, or whether it's because I left the house and got on a bus, and caught something from the gross members of the public. Could be both. Yeah, anyway, I'll see how I'm doing tomorrow. But to reply to myself last night, when I'm like, ooh, don't catastrophize. Okay, like, I get it. But the thing is, so, like, the whole don't catastrophize, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, that kind of stuff. That's great for, like, specific issues and specific episodes of spiraling. Like all the Centrelink stuff and what do I do about psychology stuff. Yeah, okay, I can wait and see how things are gonna go. But the trouble with that sort of thing is it doesn't really solve my bigger problems, like, the only reason that Centrelink is an issue and that access to psychological services is an issue is because I have issues to begin with. Like, I wouldn't need any of those things if I could fix the underlying problem. And, I've talked to a friend who is actually studying to be a psychologist and, about this kind of stuff. And, like, we both see the benefits in CBT for certain problems, but a lot of the time it can just be like a bandaid, sort of surface level fix, and it probably works better for people who are just going through a thing now and they just need a patch over that, and yeah, then get over whatever it is and go on with their lives, and occasionally fall back on that strategy again, but really their life is fine. But for some of the more complex problems that some of us go through, it's really just a sort of band-aid fix, and it doesn't address the deeper underlying problems. So, yeah, okay, great, take me out of that spiral stressing about Centrelink, but yeah, the only reason I need Centrelink at all is because my life is so messed up that I'm not able to work at a normal level. What I really need is to figure out those issues, and CBT is not really doing it for me. CBT kind of just, it's not as bad as meditation, but it's a similar sort of thing. It kind of just calms you down, but it kicks the can down the road in terms of working out the real issues and, like, how do you get through the real issues and solving the real problems, God, I hate the whole mindfulness thing. I mean, I get it. There's some people who are probably, like, getting too bogged down in certain things and they need to just take a step back. But for me, like, it just feels like instead of dealing with the problems now, you're kind of just, no, I'm just going to meditate, but the problem doesn't go away. I guess it only changes how you think about it. And to some extent, maybe you can just stop thinking about it as if it's a problem. And that would be fine if the problem was something petty or something that wasn't really a problem, but if you have things that are really a problem, for example, not being able to feel good things about life, not being able to feel any kind of passion or purpose, you know, a little bit of meditating or CBT doesn't seem like it's going to fix that. So, yeah, like, great, I've come out of the spiral for now, it seems, but how am I going to fix my life, beyond those kinds of things? Like, what am I doing with myself? Why should I keep getting up every day to do life, because I'm going to die eventually anyway. The trouble with, like, I guess logic is you can take it in a few different directions. Yeah, I don't know if I've got more to say. I'm pretty out of it. So disclaimer, I know if I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to do this where I just like keep responding to myself. But if future me is watching going, wow, you were really like not doing well with the logic today, keep in mind that I am a little bit unwell and the brain may not be working right. So, and I guess that's relevant to anyone on YouTube thinking, what is this girl on about? This girl in a cat hat. I am a little bit sick, so I guess I should. But I do think that, like, because, like, I've done CBT since, I don't even know, when was my first psychology session? Probably 2007. And none of them were able to fix my life. So that's not exactly a good track record for CBT and my particular issues. So yeah, I don't know. I do feel like I need to get to the deeper level stuff. Or I don't know, maybe I just need medication to fix like the different pathways that keep sending me into spirals and making everything feel pointless and meaningless, and like, why bother continuing to go through it? I've been struggling along, limping through life this long and not really getting anywhere, so why stay on the journey, kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, so I'm finally up to the annoying part of season 7 of Dexter. He's gone for another blonde chick, and I'm just like, oh gosh, here we go with the relationshipy stuff again. It was more fun with... Everyone's watched... maybe I shouldn't spoil stuff, just in case there's a few people... I know people who haven't watched Dexter yet, so yeah. Anyway, no, but... I don't know, I think even though it's not the sort of episodes that I'm into with Dexter, it's still setting off a few things in my brain, and even... being sick, my brain is still doing the same things it's been doing the past few days, that I mentioned on Patreon. So I think I'm gonna put up this thing, and I'm sorry, this is a sort of all over the place response to myself, and I probably shouldn't be doing this sort of thing when I'm feeling unwell, like physically unwell. Yeah, the painkillers, I think they're just taking the edge off. But otherwise I'm still feeling not great. And hopefully, I've had so much rest today, and then if I go to bed... Oh, it's still not that late. If I go to bed, hopefully I'll wake up okay tomorrow, because I've got to work on Tuesday. Today's Sunday. So I have tomorrow to sort of make sure I'm doing okay, and then work on Tuesday. And then that's my last shift for the year, I think, because... then the next week will be a public holiday. But anyway, brain, what's going on? I'm too out of it. I think I've had 3 very long naps today and just achieved very little. Anyway, good night from sick little cat girl. Bye.